Hi, I'm Paul Fuller. I have a passion for bird dogs. This is my partner Dylan. He has a passion for birds. Together we're going to share our passion with you. Welcome to Bird Dogs Afield.
Bird Dogs Afield. Brought to you in part by Native Performance Dog Food, the official dog food of Pheasants Forever and Quail Forever.
Okay, Greg, so what we've done is back in the yard, we've done some little yard training to get her to submit to the neck and a check cord and a collar. Now what we want to do is we want to introduce her to the bird. We want to introduce her to the bird properly so that her first point isn't on that rooster up in South Dakota and having it flush up in her face and scaring her for the first time. So her first bird acclimation, we want to be a fun event. So I'm going to get her all fired up with the bird here. So we're going to get her all ready. Now I'm going to let this chucker go and hopefully, there you go. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. I think we got our light bulb. Come on, Hazel. Okay, so we got her light bulb all turned on. She's very excited now. And you can see that the wing did not affect her at all. A lot of times we'll use pigeons in this scenario, but she's fired up. So I think now it's something we can do is start teaching her what the gun noise sounds like. Okay. This guy in this tractor must like to be on TV or something here. So you know you're in agriculture country when you have a tractor that wants to come to see the camera too. So now, Greg, we've taught her that the wings are okay, and she got her fired up about going after the bird. John, I'd like to have you go get a gun so we can teach her what the noise sounds like.
Friends, important information on one of our sponsors. We'll be right back with our program. Stay tuned. Dylan has great endurance. Why? It's because I feed what I think is the #1 dog food today, Native Performance Dog Food. It's formulated for the working dog. I feed level 2 during the off season, and then I switch to level 3 about 60 days before the hunting season. It's got a little higher protein, a little higher fat level. Your dog needs that. Go to www.nativedogfood.com for more information. I think it's the best thing you can do for your dog, not only during the hunting season, year-round. Thanks.
Okay, so Greg, here's my concept of introducing them to gun. We should never have gunfire unless we have a bird. And the bird should always be coming out of the air when we're introducing her to gunfire. It's kind of like grandma ringing the dinner bell. It's time for lunch, and that dinner bell is what we're going to teach her is the same sign as a gun. Okay. So she hears the dinner bell go off, she should be looking for a bird coming out of the sky. So John, I'm going to have you stand behind us, and what I want you to do, John, is I want you to aim the gun the opposite direction, and when I give you the cue of raising my hat, that means fire the gun. So what we're going to teach Hazel today is when that gun sound goes off, there's something coming out of the sky, and that's a good thing. So Hazel, I'm going to bring you with me. Hazel, you ready? Ready? All right, good girl. Ready? Good girl, good girl. Making it all fun. She's learning the sound comes down. Good girl, good girl. That shot didn't bother her at all. This dog's got a lot of point in her. Good girl, Hazel. Getting her fired up. Good girl, Hazel. Ready, Hazel? All right. Good girl, Hazel. Good girl. Now we got her used to the gunfire. We're going to try to get her to do a little retrieve here. Good girl, Hazel. Good girl. Good girl. She's going to get her mouth around the bird, and I'm going to put a little pressure on her. Get her to come to me. Good girl, Hazel. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl, Hazel. Good girl. All right. There you go. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. That's a good girl, Hazel. Good girl, Hazel. Good girl. All right. This dog's been properly acclimated to gunfire now. We've had wing exposure with this dog, Greg, and this dog is really ready to go to the field. So I think that's what we'll do. We'll bring her to the field, and we'll try to harvest one of these chuckers right over top of her.
That sounds great.
How's that sound?
Good.
Okay.
Good job, Hazel.
Oh, she's a new dog. I'm gonna take her out of the scent cone. I bring her across the scent cone. Whoa. Whoa. Just right here, Greg, and just a soft whoa. Whoa. Just real soft, just pick at her just a little bit. I'm gonna flush the bird. Okay, we don't have a safe shot. But what I want to do here, Greg, is I want her to get a retrieve. So bring her back out here. She flushed a bird. Here you go, Hazel. Let her have it. There you go. Good girl. Good. Talk sweet to her. Maybe she'll bring her back to you. Good girl. Oh, get down on your knees. Good girl. Good girl. Yep, she's going to bring it back. Don't take it from her. Pet her a little bit. There you go. Good girl. Yeah. That bird flushed the absolute opposite way we wanted her to. I like to, what I call a fun bird when I get her back here, is she puts it down, just kind of get her excited. Throw another short retrieve for her. Now bring it back. She brings it back. Now pat her in the side and tell her how proud you are of her. Just like a kid that hits his first base hit in a baseball game. You want to tell him how proud you are of him. There you go.
Dylan and I hope you enjoyed this episode of Bird Dogs Afield. Friends, this is your complete video magazine on upland bird hunting and pointing dogs. Check back frequently on myoutdoortv.com for future programming. Also, you'll find additional information on our website, birddogsafield.com. Friends, also support our sponsors. They help make this possible. Dylan and I hope to meet you in the field someday. Until then, good hunting, hunt safely.
Bird Dogs Afield. Brought to you in part by Native Performance Dog Food, the official dog food of Pheasants Forever and Quail Forever. Irish Setter by Red Wing Legendary Performance. Bred for sport and available at Kittery Trading Post or your favorite Irish Setter dealer. RST, manufacturer of short chamber, low pressure shot shells. And On Point Kennel, providing the finest in dog training equipment.